Have you ever wondered why many ancient churches are often built on specific locations, with the hidden connections between sacred sites and ancient landscapes, and the stories they tell about our ancestors? All Saints Church in Llangar is one of these places, and it's one of Wales' hidden gems. And it's located in splendid isolation overlooking the River Dee. Sadly, I was playing church roulette, the third-rate content would say. This one was shut. Its origins are lost in the midst of time, but as this apparent ancient standing stone incorporated into the south wall may indicate, that the site was used as a place of worship, or at least a gathering place, long before the coming of Christianity. Now, some people may doubt this standing stone and say it's just a random stone used to support the roof. But less than 2 miles away, at the church in Corwin, there's another standing stone built into the church there. More than a coincidence, I think. Now, sources hint at a stone church being constructed at Llangar in 1291, but the present building seems to date from the 15th century. And this remote rustic parish church has many ancient features in its interior, including extensive 15th century wall paintings, 17th century figure, old beams, box pews, pulpit, and of course the stone. Now, we can't forget these two ancient yew trees at the entrance. There's a male and a female. And the female is hollow with some internal growth, and its branches dip to the ground, creating an enclosed place. And the nearby male has all its lower branches removed, and consequently has quite a knobbly trunk. But these are pretty old. It is without doubt one of the most interesting historic and scenic churches in North Wales, and I'm going to book a visit for later in the year so I can get inside and see it. The original Welsh name of the church was Llangar Gwyn, which loosely translates as Church of the White Stag. Well, I probably didn't say it right. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. Now, the legend attached to the church tells of the supernatural problems the builders faced with the construction of the church. Now, according to legend, the church was originally to have been built near where a bridge spanned the River Dee. When the work started, stonemasons would work all day constructing the walls, only to return the next morning to find all the stones they had put in place to have mysteriously vanished, and the whereabouts of these stones could not be found, and they had to restart the project from scratch, only for the same thing to happen again the next day. And in desperation, the men turned to a local hermit, or possibly he was a seer, and he advised the builders that to succeed in building the church, they must seek out a place where a white stag is found. The stag had to be slaughtered and its blood mixed with the mortar in the stonework. The next day, a white stag was seen in a clearing along the bank of the river, exactly where the present church is now. And the stag was successfully hunted down, and the place where it fell was named the Hill of Slaughter. And funnily enough, there is a place named the Hill of Slaughter locally. And the building work started on the new site, and with the ritual completed, the church was successfully finished. And there is a tradition that the route of the stag took trying to avoid capture marks the parish boundary. And there is a wall painting in the church that shows the stag. And these wall paintings are one of the main reasons for people visiting Llangar when you can get in. Now, it wasn't until Cadw took over the restoration of Llangar the paintings were unknown. This was due to the interior walls having been whitewashed during the Reformation to remove sacrilegious decoration. When Cadw's restorers began work, they quickly uncovered a series of paintings that cover most of the interior wall. Incidentally, Cadw is a Welsh word meaning to keep or to protect, and that's exactly what they do. Now, these paintings include designs on the south wall that appear to depict the 7 deadly sins. These paintings were probably not just for decoration, but served as a visual aid for the congregation to think about the 7 deadly sins. But the most widely known painting is the one that faces immediately entering the church, apparently, which is a large skeleton that carries a spear in one hand and a winged hourglass in the other, and beneath it are a spade and a pickaxe. The interior of the church is also filled with very attractive selection of wooden pews, including simple benches and more elaborate pew boxes for more important local families. And immediately beside the door is a very simple stone font, which is guesstimated to be around 11th century. Now, the pulpit looks like an extremely odd affair, and it's composed of 3 distinctly separate stands, each made to form a different aspect of the ceremonies, I guess. And it's said that inside a cupboard in the wall is an old leper squint, which is a narrow window placed to allow lepers who were not allowed into the church to view the high altar and the services. If you're on the 4401 from Corwin, on the left-hand side there's a large lay-by opposite the sign for the church. I'd advise parking there because you won't get down the lane. And not a long walk, but it's worth it.